Good evening and welcome everybody to tonight's official coverage of the Global eSports ACC Qualifier, brought to you by NZ eSports, eBlacks, ASR NZ, Race Command, NZ Sim Racing Collective and Sim Racing TV, and of course MatchFit Entertainment involved, bringing you the live broadcast for tonight's festivities. We are what is theoretically round two, the final stage of the eSports qualifying here at Spa for the Enduro. And as always, I have my two co-commentators in J-Man and Farmer. How you doing this evening, boys? J-Man and Farmer. J-Man and Farmer not on board as of yet.
Hello,
Sorry.
hello. Yep. Got you back, Davo. Sorry, mate. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, Farmer. Good to be here, Davo.
Welcome aboard, boys.
Thanks, guys. Welcome. I think we might have just lost a bit of comms on you, Pets, but it seems we're running sweet.
Good to hear. A couple of techie issues. As always, it wouldn't be sim racing and live broadcasting if there wasn't a few technical issues, but we will press on, ladies and gentlemen. And like I said, we are in the third and final stage of the Global eSports NZ eSports ACC Qualifier. We are at Spa tonight for the final race. It is a 120-minute enduro tonight, and the boys and girls are already out in qualifying, so let's get some vision immediately.
Yeah, so, good to be back, and welcome, as Davo said, aboard viewers, forward to this third and final race. There's a fair bit on the line for a fair few out here tonight, and I think first car out on a flying hot lap by my calculation would be the 24 car of Joshua Holmes out there. So let's see a big lap here at Spa. Second time in as many days that Davo, you and I have had the pleasure of broadcasting a GT3 running around this circuit.
Yes.
But hey, look, tonight much bigger challenge for the drivers out there tonight in respect of 120 minutes around here. So a bit of strategy at play tonight for these drivers to get the job done, and mathematically we'll touch a little bit more on the point shortly once this qualification does run down. But mathematically there are still plenty in it. This is effectively a double point round, so well, no, sorry, it's not a double point round. It's only the one race with the points on offer, so plenty to play for.
Yes, J-Man still in league mode. We do a lot of broadcasting, obviously, so yeah, look, normally double points for an enduro, but not here tonight for the eSports stuff. So yeah, like you said, long lap. We do have Jay Holmes on cam at the moment, but look, plenty to play for a few of these guys and girls, with a trip to China for the winners of the series, best female and male driver. So plenty to play for here tonight.
Yeah, and Farmer, if we've got you on board, I hate to drop you on the spot, but
Go on.
What can you tell us about the 24 car at all, if anything? Is there much you can talk to us about that 24 car out there that's obviously just crossed the line? But yeah, have you got any info on the Joshua Holmes car and driver combination?
Joshua Holmes, yeah, dropped me on the spot there, like you say, J-Man. So what do we got? The McLaren, Joshua Holmes.
Yep.
28-year-old from Waikanae. Out there tonight. He came in P4, obviously, in the sprint standings there, so still only 7 points down mathematically from the lead, which with the 2 point spacing between the positions with the points there, he's only got to get 4 cars between. Oh, it's still mathematically possible that he could come in for us there, mate. Yeah, so yeah, this guy's only been sim racing for a year, so obviously a lot of pace when you consider someone like myself been at it for 15 odd years, and I didn't even qualify to get into this, bro. So
yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So talented young man is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. What I have noticed, guys, is that the McLaren might have been quick at the Red Bull Ring, but now that we're at Spa, the Mustang seems to be really a standout car here. So where they've suffered in the previous race, they might, it might just be the reverse this time round.
So look towards the Webley, Fordo, Sasha, Death, Mellon cars. You think definitely good options, and obviously Webley at the moment, 2:16.560 to put it provisionally on pole with still 8.5 minutes to go. You're right there, Farmer. It does look like they've got a turn of speed round here.
Yeah, exactly, mate. And we're going to have to be on our hay game there, J-Man, with the points of what actually might happen. But I see Matt McEwen there still in P2 currently at the moment. So
yeah, got a big delta coming.
He is our championship leader. It will sort of come down to where he finishes and who's in front of him, obviously, at the end of the night.
Yeah, so in a very, very close battle with the likes of Baker, where is Ewan Baker? He's currently sitting P8 at the moment on a 17.9. Now, we did have the privilege, as I mentioned, of broadcasting a race here on Thursday night with our ASRNZ regular Thursday night league. Fantastic night it was too, and I can tell you, Matt McEwen absolutely put on a clinic in race 1 there as an invitational, and look, he'll be well and truly up to speed with what that car feels like in race trim. However, a lot shorter format racing that was. It was a couple of 40s. We're talking about a 120 here, so strategy at play. So Matt McEwen certainly coming very prepared for this one, as I'm sure Fordo, Webley also in that race, and even Ewan Baker will be pretty organised, I think, for this one. Don't count out a few other drivers, though, as you mentioned, Joshy Holmes, Cameron Fleming, Simon Bishop. I'm not sure. I haven't got my points in front of me, although I have now.
Smith, I think, too. That's like, there's obviously the battle at the top two drivers, but the next 3 or 4 there, J-Man, look, if anything goes awry with the top 2 drivers, they're right there to pick up the crumbs, aren't they?
Yeah, and so on that note, Liam Curran, the 43 car, out of 3rd position in this title chase for the spot. Where is he?
Liam Curran out tonight with internet issues. So, yeah, Liam, very disappointed watching some of the pre-race chat in Discord. Not to be here tonight. And you look, and partly the reason because his internet's a bit sketchy, he doesn't want to ruin other people's races, because you know how difficult it can be to race around a car that has got a bit of a dodgy ping. So, yes, he's decided to remove himself from the competition tonight, ladies and gentlemen, but still plenty to look forward to. I suppose it just takes one more person out of the equation, doesn't it?
Well, it does, and look, we saw it the other night, 2x2 through a Rouge Radillon. Doesn't always work. I think we saw a rollover. We saw a car fully rotated over.
Yes, we did. Yeah,
these things can happen. God forbid it doesn't happen tonight. We want these guys to go out and give it the best shot that they can. But I tell you, man, straight away to see a couple of cars straight away into those mid to low 16s is super impressive. Most of us could only dream probably of getting a 16, and we've already got 3 on the tower, and Brandon Webley, Matty McEwen and Ewan Baker already in the 16s. So,
yeah. So good to see Webley back. Hopefully his connection's solid tonight. I think he had maybe some techie issues actually last week at Red Bull Ring.
Yep.
Dropping off the radar, abruptly dropping out of the server there, I think, in race 2. So unfortunate for Webley, but again, like you mentioned, in the Mustang and showing some pace. So definitely one to watch tonight.
Good to see Mudgeway and Mickenday back out on track again tonight. The breakfast crew representing, which is always a cool thing. Farmer, place that's pretty special to you. Raced amongst that stable for a long time.
Yeah, raced with those guys for a long time now. J-Man, like you say, it's good to see those boys here. They've been dabbling obviously in the iRacing of later days, but they've come back to sort of represent and see how they get on at this eSports challenge. So, you know, obviously if you dangle a trip to China in front of them, the boys will turn up, right? You know?
Well, why not? Well,
I'll give it a crack. I'll give it a crack anyway.
We're taking a couple of hours out of your Saturday night for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's nice work to see those boys back on track. Like you said, been dabbling in a little bit of iRacing lately, and I think some of these guys that have come over that we're not used to calling here at ASRNZ actually come over from iRacing to have a bit of a crack at this. So ACC probably a little bit new to them, but you know, look, when you're talking, when you've got such talented drivers, these guys pick it up pretty quickly. So cameras on Bishop at the moment, showing some good form in provisional 8th in qualifying as we speak. Only 3 minutes to go, ladies and gentlemen, before we get this party properly started.
Yeah, and look, at the moment we've got sort of Webley, just trying to check in where Webley came in the first round there, P8. Outside of that, you Matt McEwen, Ewan Baker, those guys were 1-2 last week, and they're sitting in P2, P3. Joshua Holmes as well. So the guys that are up there have put themselves up there, I guess is where I'm getting with this.
Yeah.
At the moment, doing a great job. We had a lot of questions from Ewan Baker actually during the week in regards to weather, temperature, tyre, settings, ambient, wind direction, you name it. He was really trying to just absolutely do everything he could and get all the most knowledge to really put this together. So he's certainly behind the scenes has been putting in a lot of effort for this.
Yeah, committed to say the least.
Yeah,
I think he even asked us wind direction there at one stage too. You know,
it's getting out of my pay grade, that's for sure.
yeah.
It shows the intensity and the seriousness about how these sim racers take this. You know, I mean, we see an element of professionalism and competition every week when we're broadcasting in different locations and leagues that we do. But you know, this is clearly up a notch. The stakes are high.
Definitely.
And we're going to see that tonight. And, you know, I think when you talk about the Matthew McEwen, Ewan Baker battle, irrespective of where they are on track to whatever happens in this qualifying and then the start of the race, although it appears they are going to be somewhere close to the top, you know, I guess if you're Ewan Baker and Sasha Death just actually pits in for that third spot.
Nice P3.
There'll be obviously a fair bit of push from Ewan there, and Matty McEwen, you might see Matty consolidate potentially depending on his position in the race. So good lap there though from Sasha. So
yeah,
good to see another 16 in there. So that's 4 16s, top 4 separated by around about 6.5 tenths, just under. So very competitive at the top. And then we've got a big run of cars after that. Joshy Holmes, Shane Potato, Fleming and co.
As you'd expect, J-Man. And Sasha, I think, got across the line. We've still got 10 seconds to go for another lap, and probably just in the second sector now, and 4 more tenths up on her time, which could be enough to pip McEwen as well. So who was in the pits, mind you, so he won't be out again.
It's a healthy Delta. That is a
Isn't
very
it?
good-looking Delta.
As is Fotidos and Brimblecombe making a late run as well. Brimblecombe with a lot of work to do.
Bishop also.
Bishop up as well. That would sneak him up a couple of sessions, possibly in front of Fotido. But like I said, Fotido looking very healthy on the Delta as well, boys. So, yes, last final push.
Just keeping an eye on the obviously the 247 car of Sasha Death there.
Running up the hill.
She's got 3.5 tenths up her sleeve. I don't know if she's going to get P2 or not. It's going to be super close.
Yeah,
Delta climbs through the final bus.
Oh, look at that. Half a second, J-Man. You're right.
Yeah. It's going to carry this through to go pretty close to the top.
Oh, this is close, and there it is.
Yes.
Provisional second. Very nice. Well, it is second, actually. Timer has run down, so that's a definite second as we just watched Bishop actually come out of the final corners. Well, bled a whole bunch of speed off, actually.
Yeah.
Right in that last corner.
Yeah,
and
Fotido,
bam, in the fourth position.
He separates McEwen and Baker. And
Brimblecombe, sorry to interrupt, Brimblecombe in the Pit Viper BMW actually just rolling out of the final corner with half a second up his sleeve as well, which will pop him up a couple of positions, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it hasn't. Okay, there you go.
Up one.
There you go.
Yep.
So nice work.
Doing the job there on a 16.3 is very impressive. Over Sasha Death, so great to see a better performance tonight in quali from Sasha up there in the 247 Mustang. So a couple of Mustangs share the front row. So
surprise.
As you mentioned, Farmer, a little bit different than what we saw last week. It was very much a McLaren fest at the top end of town. Still plenty of McLarens in there, but 3 Fords in the top 4. So
yeah, it says it all, doesn't it? Okay, look, let's, while these guys and girls get themselves set on track, we'll bring up the points. Let's see driver standings at the moment. Going into the final round here. There we go. So, clearly see Matthew McEwen and Ewan Baker very close in the points there, boys.
Yeah, a couple of points, as Farmer mentioned, between those two there. And then we dropped down another 4 points off the back for Liam Curran, who you said was
yeah, he's away.
So 5 points short of the marker would be Joshua Holmes, who did qualify out of P6. So very much in the hunt, just starting pretty much just behind, or actually beside Ewan Baker. So well and truly still in the hunt is Joshua Holmes. 12 months into his sim racing career, as Farmer mentioned, which is a truly impressive performance. And then Sean Brimblecombe, as you mentioned, just finished his last lap off, moving just outside the 10 into P11. So that is still very, very tight at the top. And then we drop down Matty Smith, Tony Spence, Brandon Webley, looking to make some big gains, racing out of 8th outright. And quite a fair few points off of this one. However, mathematically, you just never know in sim racing, guys. Disconnections, meatball flags, all sorts of stuff can happen in 120 minutes. We don't wish we don't wish it on anyone, but these things just happen. So, you've got to be in the hunt. And then outside of that, I just want to make a special mention to a lot of the drivers that have turned up. Obviously, a well smaller field here tonight, 16 cars on the grid. Is that to those drivers who have signed up and competed and that completed rounds 1 and 2 and then into this final one, congratulations to you all and measuring yourself on everybody inside little old Aotearoa, New Zealand. So appreciate all the support that we've had from the drivers and everybody behind the scenes. But there's a lot of guys in here that were challenging themselves, probably respectfully. Knew that they weren't going to grab that top spot, but really dug it in. So mad respect to those guys. Really do get a lot of credit from me, and I'm sure the rest of the comms team.
100%, J-Man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good to see these guys. Like we have mentioned previously, it is the best of the best here. The best 30-odd drivers, or 16 tonight, out on track here in New Zealand for stage 3 of the Global Esports New Zealand ACC qualifier, as we just start to see the roll away for their formation lap. There will be nerves. This is big. A trip to China. The prize at the end of the day. Like Farmer mentioned earlier, we're taking a couple of hours out of your Saturday night for a couple of weeks to have a crack at. But look, we've seen some great racing already at Red Bull Ring. Crazy track, Red Bull Ring. Couple of really quick fire sprint races there last weekend. But we're here for the biggie tonight, ladies and gentlemen, in what is the Global Esports ACC Qualifier Stage 3, brought to you by NZ eSports, E-Blacks as well, ASRNZ, Race Command, New Zealand Sim Racing Collective and Sim Racing TV, and of course broadcast to you live by MatchFit Entertainment. Please hit the like and subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen, and buckle up for what's going to be a cracking race here tonight at Spa. 120 minutes. Like I said, there's going to be a few butterflies, I think, out there tonight, for particularly the boys up the pointy end. Light up that chat box, ladies and gentlemen. Who's your money on? Who's your money on? And, you know, what do you think Spa is going to bring in a big race like this tonight? We love a chat. So...
We do love a chat. We do love a chat. We've got a bit of support for Holmes, Joshua Holmes from P1 there, coming in on the chat box. So he's obviously got some supporters there watching us.
Yeah, Gentleman was actually
moment.
very vocal in the previous round. A lot of support for Joshy Holmes. But no lacking confidence there for his man Josh. So good to see. Now, one thing I picked up the other night, boys, and I'll be interested to see tonight, is Matty McEwen off the starts was very, very impressive in both races. Started from a little further back in race 2 on Thursday night, but very much in tune with the race start procedure here, was well up on the box. Still inside limits, no penalties or anything like that. He was well within his rights and limits of the game, but he's very, very accurate on the start. So you know, Brandon Webley and Sasha will have to be well aware. He knows the importance of getting a great start, because we saw him get an absolute ripper in race 1 and then cleaned out, and then race 2 Jamie Kosa actually got the better of the start, and it was pretty much carbon copy reverse roles between him and Jamie on Thursday. But what I'm alluding to is he's a very, very good starter at the start of these races. So just watch for Matty McEwen to try and be up on the wheel and be ready at the tree.
Definitely, J-Man. He has the likes of Webley, he's not a bad starter himself, and he does have the power of the Mustang under his right foot. So it will be an interesting little battle here. They get the start finish. Well, the starting line is on the run down towards Rouge. The finishing line is back up on the start, so that up on the start finish straight, so they don't have to navigate that T1 tight corner. But all the same, it gets pretty hectic through Rouge and then up the end of the hill at the back straight there, and navigating all that as we have got them filing through the final complex of corners now. Ladies and gentlemen, like I mentioned, hit the like and subscribe, because you have joined us for tonight's official coverage of the Global Esports ACC Qualifier. Grab a bevy, buckle in. It's brought to you by NZ eSports, E-Blacks, ASRNZ, Race Command, keeping the cogs well oiled and all the servers running smooth so we can kick this to you. NZ Sim Racing Collective, NZ Sim Racing TV, and of course broadcast to you live by MatchFit Entertainment. Davo, J-Man and Farmer on the mics for this 2-hour race. Someone's going to China.
Yeah.
We love China. And we're about to go green. Webley, Death, McEwen, Fotado, Baker, Holmes, Fleming, Bishop, Crossland and Spence rounding out the top 10. And we've got a green light. Webley and Death side by side in the Mustangs. Are they going to make it work? Death a little bit on the inside there.
Oh, Fotado was challenging McEwen, got a little bit sideways.
Relatively clean start there, but it's still on. Line of stern, go back a little bit though. The Fleming, Bishop, battle, 2 wide, 3 wide, just in front of them. Everybody filing through, very tidy, very orderly. Yeah, wow, that's a clean start, J-Man.
That is very, very tidy. So, mad respect to all of them. They got through there.
Absolutely.
Very well. The status quo at the front.
Status quo, the deltas were flashing. I think manoeuvre between Baker and Holmes, but I think Baker actually got himself back in position. So a little bit of side-by-side action going on already. Melling down a couple of positions, J-Man to Enright and McIndoe.
Yeah, to the benefit of McIndoe and Enright there, yeah, exactly. So
Fotado right on the tail of McEwen, J-Man. This is a different race for McEwen tonight, and just in the background there, that's Baker with Holmes and Fleming tucked right in behind him. This is lap 1, very tight. Webley making that initial push. Sasha trying to stay with. McEwen backed off a little bit with Fotado applying the blowtorch. It's all going on in the background though. Here, look at this, Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop. And
who's that? Crossland and Spence side by side. Yeah. Here we go, up into the fastest corner on the circuit. And
and who's that? The BMW? Is that?
Accidentally hit the replay button, and we've gone back 30 seconds, but it was Brimblecombe.
Brimblecombe with a big move around the outside. It's not going to pay off. He's actually going to shortcut this one.
Taking a little bit of extra track on the side there, J-Man, isn't
he? Yeah, look, he hasn't gained anything. If anything, he's actually going to lose a couple of spots here. So mathematically, Sean's still, still in this. He's got a bit of work to do.
So we'll just pick up on that because it was actually the car in front of Crossy that got a big sideways through that fast corner. Crossy backs off.
Spence.
Compensating for it, and Brimblecombe, as we just see in the replay here, yeah, running straight ahead there. A little bit of a nick in the tyres as he ran around the tyre bale there, but plenty going on right from the get-go.
And Sasha really challenging Webley, so the Mustang's looking really, really good, whilst all the cars are still heavy on fuel for this 120. So really putting the pressure on. So much different performance we're seeing tonight out of Sasha. She's really just up the ante here at Spa. And then it's kind of settled down a little bit with McEwen, Fotado and Baker. A little bit of gap there, although McEwen starting to try and make his way forward up to Death and Webley.
Brimblecombe, just picking up on the replay here. Brimblecombe on Mudgeway there in the right-hander as they drop down the hill. So good move, slightest bit of paint exchange, but yeah, one move there. Brimblecombe moving forward now.
I tell you boys, this battle from Josh Holmes, Cam Fleming and Simon Bishop is a good one, and Spence now, after getting a little bit sideways through Blanchimont, with Crossy straight behind when we went to that replay there, has actually moved forward and he's trying to tag onto this trio. And see if they can work their way up to Holmes.
So Bishop tailing, getting under the wing of Fleming as they run up to this final complex here. Very close.
Right there.
Very disciplined on the brakes there.
Looks for an over-under here. Can he get the drive coming off here? Incredibly close.
That's Spence in the background too. Spence lost a couple of positions with that whole Brimblecombe thing going on there. That's Mudgeway and Brimblecombe again at it. J-Man, this time, Mudgeway looking for an outside move. It goes the over and under. Here we go.
Yeah, we'll get the drive here.
Out of the front of ENDURO.
Across the nose. Yep. So that is.
Oh, Mudgeway well wide out of Oru, Sue Radleon.
That's one thing. These guys are racing for 2 hours too, guys.
Sasha Death.
Sasha Death is off the track.
Oh, it's straight ahead. Just there, you can see her car on the left there. Pull that thing up.
Guys?
That means she's
got
off
the car
track.
going, so that
Oh, no,
looks
here we
like
go.
a hardware failure. Quickly gets going. Oh, that's a shame out of P2.
I hate to say it, they all had a little bit of a misfire there, isn't it?
Okay, just needed a bit of a reboot.
Needed a reboot, yes.
Just turn it off and turn it back on. Just see how you
Clean
go.
the carbs out.
So we do Mustang, McLaren, and then just an absolute plethora of McLarens all the way down to
isn't
P10.
It's a bit of a McLaren fest down through the field there. The closest being, I think, is the it's actually the odd one out. The BMW stuck in the middle of that in 11th, J-Man and Brimblecombe and Mudgeway. Going at it, having a ding-dong over the last few laps, and I don't think that's over yet. Next closest car on track, I suspect, is McIndoe at Enright or Crossland and Spence. So Crossland still trying to reel in Spence. Spence going back a little bit with Brimblecombe there. A few laps ago.
McEwen with a big run wide, and to tell you what, it's going to close the margin up to Shane Faraday. McEwen in a spot of bother down at the bus stop.
Just picking that up on the replay there, J-Man. Unforced, he's in clear air there. It runs terribly deep, J-Man. That's Foot Faraday.
Well in touch.
Tucked up behind him there.
Yeah, McEwen needs to negate the mistakes here. He's in a good position. He's in a position that would see him take this top spot if he finished here. Obviously, very, very early days, boys. So bit hard to start to talk about that at the moment. But I'm referencing Ewan Baker, who's sitting back in P4.
Isn't it?
But you know how we love to speculate. It's easy for us in the comms box here. As Faraday now starting to reel that McEwen car in there. Sorry, Farmer.
Yeah, no, you're right. But I mean, Matt McEwen, he must have calculated this. He must know in his head who he needs to beat and where he needs to finish. He doesn't need to win this, does he? He just needs to be ahead of Ewan Baker. We've got Webley out in front, but of course, Webley was a good 16 points behind him, so that's 8 spots he can afford to lose to Webley. He doesn't need to beat Webley in front of him. Faraday behind him. He doesn't need to worry about Faraday either. You know, like, so he'll know this. He will know what he needs to do. But like you say, J-Man and Davo, just the way he went into that last chicane, and just prior to that, I was watching him, and he was a little bit out of control too. And I wonder if he's just a bit rattled, mate, or
feeling the pressure. You think?
Feeling the pressure, and
maybe.
You know, I was just thinking, are we allowed 3 cuts here, and the 4th one is a drive-through? Because
copy.
I raced here Thursday night and got 2 warnings on my first lap. So these guys have got to do this for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And we've seen Mudgeway for sure already has one in the bank.
I suspect Sasha Death's got one in the bank too through a Rouge there.
Sorry guys, Bishop Fleming, there's a pass on the go here.
Cams are on it. Yeah, look, Sasha Death went wide on the exit of Rouge, lap 1. So immediately chasing Webley. So, look, these guys at it, J-Man.
Yeah, they are, and
Holmes pass. No.
Yeah, home.
They did get past. Hang on.
No,
it was just it was just having a big look.
And then the timing loop as well. But yeah, no, for Matty McEwen, still to have Faraday between himself and Ewan Baker will be as much comfort as he needs at this point of time. So all
Yeah.
that, you could say, look, he's not racing Shane for this opportunity to China. I think as a racer, he'll still like at least one car between him and his closest contender mathematically. So he's doing a good job now. He's just tidied that up by the look of it. I've just been watching that car, and he's tidied up and trying to bridge back what is a 2.5 odd second gap up to Webley. But speaking of Webley, he's doing a fantastic job out there in the front at the moment. So looking strong in the Mustang, the beautifully presented Mustang.
Absolutely.
What are these guys going to be doing, guys? Are we talking pit stops? Obviously, 1, maybe 2.
Well, there's no CPS, but they won't run 2 hours. They just won't
have 2 hours of gas.
They don't have it.
I can confirm that.
No.
These guys will need to stop. The tyre, I don't think the tyre's good for 2 hours either, so they probably will need to change the tyre.
Yeah.
So we're going to all at least have to do 1 stop, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely. And this is great. This is what we really want to see from these guys. Look, we tested them last week at Red Bull Ring in the sprint. 2 very quick-fire sprint races and tested their capabilities. But this is where we're testing them now. It's strategies. It's a long game. 2-hour race. J-Man, Bishop on Holmes again.
Bishop on Holmes, yeah. He was really, really close. Got a little loose carving out of Paul Freer, but... coming down through Blanchimont here now, he's right up underneath there, and he's just looked really incentivized. Just the last half a lap, he's really been able to put the car up. Even there, we watched him through the chicane. Just seemed a little bit more accurate at the apex on the entry. Gets the car square off the exit, and then just really starting to apply the pressure. So, Holmes himself, mathematically still in contention for this thing, will be wanting to race up to Ewan Baker, but he's got all the work coming from the rearview mirror at the moment.
Yeah, definitely, J-Man. So Plenty definitely has his work cut out for him as we got cameras on McIndoe, who's it's sandwiched between Enright and Melling. Yep. These guys have raced together for years. So look how closely matched these three are. Melling in the Mustang and a couple of McLarens out in front. McIndoe in the Milo car. As always, one of the trademark BC Racing Crew cars. But look, I can't get my eyes off this Brimblecombe Mudgeway thing going on here, J-Man. It's either Bishop or Holmes or Brimblecombe and Mudgeway at the moment. Brimblecombe, like just 2 and 4. But Mudgy is just... Oh, there's contact!
Down the inside. Actually, yeah. Live stewarding tonight too, viewers, so expect for race control and the race director to be involved at some point, especially for an incident like that. They'll have their view, and I'm sure they'll rule accordingly. So if you do hear us call for, such and such driver's got a time penalty or something like that, that'll be relative to the decisions made by the good people up in the box monitoring this live. So not an easy job for those people up there, so appreciate them and what they're doing out here tonight, but they'll look at incidents like that for sure.
And just as we speak, the car 21 has popped up onto Race Control's notepad there. They are looking at what just happened at the moment, so interesting to see what will go on with that. We're not expecting it to be like last week, are we? We saw quite a lot of intervention with Race Control last week with the amount of cars on field, and just from my point of view, it looks a little bit more behaved tonight, guys.
It does.
It definitely does. It definitely does.
Sasha Death just threw on McIndoe and Melling as well, so she's working her way back through after that. What was looked to be maybe a VR headset failure or something's gone on technically.
Yeah.
And,
yep. So we
just
just picking up on the replay there, J-Man, and Melling with a big wriggle at the bottom of the hill through the right-hander, allowing Sasha through.
Well, it was a big sideways moment.
Yeah,
well
definitely.
Yep. So Webley doing a fantastic job. I'm just going to keep touching on this, just watching the rhythm that I'm seeing out of Webley in the Mustang, and obviously the pressure that Matt McEwen's facing from Shane Fodder is just allowing this margin to creep out towards the 3.5 seconds now. Obviously, we'll see it bottleneck back down a little bit when they come into certain sectors of the track, but then I think when we stretch it all out again and they end up on the same piece of racetrack in the straightaways, it does sort of stretch out to 3.5. So Webley doing a good job over Matt McEwen and Shane Fodder, who is very much still hanging on the back of Matty McEwen. Ewan Baker having a bit of a lonely time. There's some 3.5 to 3.8 seconds off the back of that, but got a good 2.7 to 3 seconds over Joshua Holmes, who's still in this battle with Simon Bishop. Oh, was that Mickendo with a run wide, was it, Davo?
Yeah, just picked up in the replay with Melling sneaking past, or back past, I think. Oh, no, he was actually behind him earlier. So Sasha had got past Melling, and Melling now past.
And now Sasha right up onto the back of Mudgeway too.
Yeah,
So
I noticed that.
Very,
Here we
very quick
go.
work of these drivers just off the back of the 10. So
Well, look, she did put herself second on the grid for qualifying, J-Man, so...
tucked right up underneath the Mustang, looks for the inside line. Mudgeway's
Oh,
no
side by side! Whoa, now Mudgeway surely gun shy after being turned by Brimblecombe. By Brimblecombe earlier, and look, Sasha getting threatened by Enright there. But you're very close. The fastest corner on the track there from those two cars there. Epic stuff. Being so close. Big back off from Sasha.
From experience, Mudgeway is very good at keeping cars behind him.
Yeah.
He's
one of the best.
He is no stranger to defending.
I think he
and he's very, very good at it too, guys. Yeah.
I
feel like it's a breakfast crew trait.
I think he came from the same school as John McDonald. What are they? What's the saying? Harder to pass than a kidney stone. These guys do their job very well when they're going slow. Nice work. And so, but look, makes for awesome viewing for us up in the comments box, and obviously for you guys there at home.
This is awesome viewing. This Bishop Holmes battle is this has been like this since the inception of this race, and it's just carried on, and just almost feel like just nothing, really just a measuring competition at the moment. They can see Ewan Baker up the road. They're out there just doing their thing. No real irrational moves being made by Bishop on Holmes. He's just tucked in there. He's been really, really close multiple times, but it just looks nice and calm. Even though they're in a close battle, it does look nice and calculated, this little battle going on at the moment.
It does look very orderly, J-Man. Unlike the Sasha Death Mudgeway thing, looks pretty hectic. We still have those three cars right in behind him, Enright, Melling and McIndoe. The positions have shuffled around a little bit as we see Sasha very sideways out of the right-hander.